Content, empowering your life. Welcome to the Sphere. This episode is sponsored by Houston Housewives of Finance. For more information on increasing your cash flow, becoming your own money manager, and to schedule your complimentary personal finance strategy, contact the Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463. Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today to advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789. KOG and Company. Are your unique gifts and talents changing the world? Do you desire to belong to a community of unity? Visit KOGpassion.com to learn more about the Unleash Your Dopeness movement.
Welcome back to another episode of Intermission. I am your host, Jarvis Ziggy Newsom. You can find me on IG at Ziggy the Lionhearted. And
I was trying to guess.
with me is the host, as always, Howard Jerome.
What's up, everybody? You guys can find me at Howard_Jerome on Instagram and Howard Jerome on Facebook. And we've got our other two guests here today. I guess Marcus will host.
Hey, man, we love to be seen. Well, you can't see me. Okay, there you go. You can always find me at Marcus Griffin on Facebook or Fish and Grits 281. That's where we be repping that Fish and Grits podcast, talking about sports.
And we have a returning guest, Erline.
Hello. Facebook, Instagram by Erline Maingot. Real simple, real easy.
I was going to ask you, is it Mango or Maingot?
It's Mango.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been called everything. Mangoty, Mangot, Manget it.
Someone called you.
Manget it.
That's pretty funny.
What?
That should be your new IG.
That would have been dope. Hey,
Manget it.
Get it.
You
You
have
finally
no
only
idea.
a hashtag Get it. There you go.
Hey, there'll be so many problems. So many problems in my
Hey,
life.
we almost had to beige Johnny Cage for you for a while.
Yo, you know, the only reason why that didn't happen is because I lost the password, and then I lost the password to the email that I had to make up before that one. So it's floating out there somewhere. But
You know what's funny? Shantae was watching the show the other day, and she was like, "What's going on with Howard's hair?" I said, "He's trying to get his Aquaman on for Halloween."
No, dog, I just stopped giving a fuck about it, to be honest.
Hey, man,
and then
go
it was
for it.
raining. I had somebody hit me up there, like, "What's up
You
with
your
you?" Like, it
own
was
boss. You
raining.
ain't got to dress up for
Right?
nobody.
Oh, we
Exactly.
got quite a few people in here.
What's up, everybody that's on Facebook Live?
Yeah,
Hello.
I kind of look like a poodle right
Monique,
now.
Nah,
Early.
Clinton.
I'm going for the easy
Konnichiwa,
E
Clinton.
look right
It's
now,
very
man.
disturbing, the whole...
I have
Yeah,
all
you got your
curls back
Rico
there.
Suave on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that little bounce with it, too.
Look at that. Okay, Herbalist commercial. Let's go.
You need to turn in the chair and swing and be like,
Pantene Pro V.
yeah.
Yeah. Give it about another year. Whoever's sitting next to me is going to get smacked in the face. Like, what was that?
In my face.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Whiplash.
shit. There we go.
Oh.
Today.
Very exciting show
Well-
for you guys.
We got a lot of trailers too, so make sure y'all check out the full episode when it drops. But right now, let's talk about this Venom movie and early reviews. Because initially, the reviews weren't that good, but you brought it up to my attention, and now I looked it up and I realized, okay, there might be something to this.
It's the wildest shit. So a lot of if you guys don't follow like movie releases and all that, Venom comes out. It dropped, I guess, like last night. Lady Gaga and what's his name?
Bradley Cooper.
And Bradley Cooper. Their
Stars
movie
Born.
dropped. Stars
Oh,
Born.
Stars Born.
So my timeline has been flooded with people talking about how bad the movie is, and then immediately, about an hour later, I started getting all this stuff popping up talking about how there's a bot campaign. For you guys that don't know, bots are just robots that just go out there and just troll the internet and just put all kinds of random stuff out there. But apparently, there's a war going on between the Marvel camp and Lady Gaga's camp as to who has this bot campaign that's panning Venom on the critic side, because they're all promoting Lady Gaga's movie. So I have no real, I guess, hope that this movie's going to be good, but it might not be as bad as what we think it is based off these.
Well, yeah, from what I'm hearing from some of the reviews, because I noticed like some was just trashing it, but then I started, if you go through the reviews, you can tell who's actually seen it, like overseas and stuff like that. A lot of people said what we think is confirmed basically. Tom Hardy does a great job as Venom, but the storyline is just so juvenile. Like one guy basically said, this movie feels like it should have came out 2000, 2001. Yeah.
They're comparing his performance to Jim Carrey in Liar Liar.
I'm very uninterested with this movie.
I was like, come on now.
As soon as I heard it was going to do a Venom movie without Spider-Man, I was like, get the shit out of here, man. It's only trying to milk some shit.
The thing that put the nail in the coffin for me was when they gave it a PG-13 rating.
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to have a character that goes around eating people and then it be PG-13?
I heard that
I'm
wasn't
not
even
cool
the
with
problem of the film. Like, I guess the rated R type of scenes are still kind of played to the camera, but I just heard it was just everything else from the writing, secondary characters, story,
continuity. Yeah, like that's why I hear the biggest issue is the flow is just it's disjointed.
Yeah.
A random scene of what's his name, Woody Harrelson playing spoiler Carnage, but it's just be like, man, I'm just
wait, that's who Woody Harrelson's character is?
yeah, but it's not even
that's
interesting.
weak.
They
Yeah.
say they just drop it in there, but I don't think
So
I mean, it's just uninteresting. You just know these studios are trying to get every dollar that they can. So
I
you
feel
know,
like that voice would be annoying, just hearing it constantly in the background.
Woody Harrelson?
No,
Venom's
Venom's voice.
Oh, the second
Constantly
yeah.
commenting on
Yeah.
everything he does. I feel like that's going to get really old really quickly.
I actually think, like I said,
one person said it plays well as a buddy cop. A buddy cop because the interaction between
Venom and Eddie. Yeah. Now I can see that.
I still need to see it. I don't want to listen to anyone's negativity about it. I still need to see it.
I'm going to see it, but
Yeah. I'm just nervous.
my phone
nervous?
my phone
The
notifications
comic book
may be
kid in
on.
me.
I'm gonna watch it biased. I'm gonna be very biased. As
Like I said, I knew the storyline they was going with because, like I said, being a comic book guy, I knew which storyline. I was like, okay, they can pull this off without Spider-Man.
Move up to it. I can't move
But
any further.
at the same time,
I mean,
Woody Harrelson is Carnage? That doesn't really make much sense
but
to
you
me.
could pull it off without Spider-Man. But it's not. It's less interesting because, like, what else are you gonna do later on? Who's Venom's gonna fight later on? And them introducing, I guess, Carnage as being a.
Well, they're saying that they're trying to open it up to have a crossover with Spider-Man, but
Marvel ain't gonna allow
Yeah.
that shit, man. Let that thing drop under 60 on Rotten Tomato.
Yeah.
You ain't touching.
I think it's already sitting at a
It's
30
not gonna
though.
happen.
Oh, then they really ain't. Man, don't touch that.
Yeah, I mean, that
well,
thing is
Rotten
trash
Tomatoes,
already.
Marvel don't care about that. What counts the most is that bottom line.
But they gonna look at that Rotten Tomato. Not
Yeah.
one of their
Man.
film has dropped
They're
under
gonna
60.
look at that.
I don't know though.
But
'Cause
if
if
it
you look
makes
at
the
like
money-
Maze Runner and all that, Maze Runner makes a shit ton of money and
Rotten Tomatoes.
trashed every single
It
last
does
one of them.
okay, but I'm talking about the Marvel type of.
Like I
They
said,
don't give a
Disney ain't
shit.
gonna.
If it had some funk on it, Marvel's not gonna risk bringing
Look
Venom
what
in
just
there
happened
if
to
it
the
got
Star
some funk
Wars.
on it. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Look what happened to Star Wars. Like they changing the whole format now because of Solo.
They're worried.
They changed it because it was that. Man,
Once
Solo
that-
wasn't even bad,
Right.
I mean,
But once
just-
that money was bad, that's when stuff changes.
I always say it's that layover from
Venom's
the
at a
terrible
28
to last-
right now.
Ooh, that's terrible.
A 28?
That's
28.
That's that Transformers level. That means that's a no go. Nah, wow.
So I pointed out some news to you all right before the show. Jon Favreau is directing a Star Wars movie.
That's exciting.
That's gonna be
Assuming they're gonna let him direct
But
and
what?
not chop it
How-
up.
What? See, I don't know.
that is accurate.
That just seems funny because it's just like didn't they just release a talking about we're gonna slow down on making too many Star Wars movies and it was like guess what we got a Star Wars movie coming out.
Well, you got to think Episode 9 is the last of that whole Skywalker trilogy.
Man, I'm sick of Star Wars. Honestly,
But the only problem
I'm
with the
sick of
Star Wars
the
movies
movies.
are the ones that are in the series.
Yeah.
Those are the only ones like they overdo it with it. They come up too quickly. I think like if you're telling these anthology stories to explore the rest
I
of the
enjoy
universe,
that.
like even with like the books, the expanded universe, if they
Right.
do something like that, that could be cool because then you could start seeing other characters that you've never even thought about exist or
Well,
the
and this
rumors
is a
of
brand
stuff.
new character that we've never seen.
I'm all for it as long as it's good. Don't give me that crap like what like a rehash of what they're doing is going on right now, like
Yeah.
with episode 7 and
That movie
and
was
8.
garbage.
And all those movies were no.
Seven wasn't that
It wasn't
bad.
I'm
bad.
gonna always say
Eight was
But
easy.
Eight's the
seven,
one, yeah.
but
Eight's-
7
eight
wasn't
is
nothing but a
horrible.
rehash of
A New Hope.
A New Hope.
True.
But I'm always gonna say the lore of Star Wars is better than the film adaptation of Star Wars.
The literature of Star Wars is the best.
It's awesome.
Yeah, that's the
I
actual.
love the cartoons.
Yeah. Everything outside the film is good with it, basically.
Yeah, that's the craziest part.
Right.
Everything that was an offshoot of the films is way better to read up
Right.
on and
It
see
is
about
true.
and consume than the movies themselves. And I think that's kind of really telling of like the whole mythos of Star Wars is that you spawned all this other material that everyone likes so much more, and then you go back and watch the movies.
With
Well, I mean,
You have to
Disappointing.
put. I mean, I think they have the biggest appeal, so it helps push the idea of Star Wars a whole lot faster. Has more mass appeal. But
they're
then you have
never
people
gonna
like us who'll
change.
go and read that stuff.
and they're never going to change.
Well,
the
actually,
formula, like of how
They're
they
going
publish
to change because
films.
episode 9 is the last of the whole Skywalker story. They
I'm
said
glad.
that. Rumors has it, well, we got the Mandalorian with John Favreau.
And Boba Fett.
And he's directing a TV series that they got coming
And
out.
then David Benioff and them, rumor has it they're focusing on the Old Republic.
Oh yeah, that's the Game of Thrones creator, right? Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They're focusing on the Knights of the
That's
Old
gonna be
Republic.
interesting.
That's what I want to see. That's when Star Wars was like, if you read the literature, that's
Shit,
when it was
the Wild
crazy.
West, man.
Right.
All them
It was
damn
good.
wars.
Seals were fighting seals.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you had dark Jedis, you had the gray Jedis. I mean,
I'm all
People
for it.
destroying whole worlds
You
and
actually
shit.
interesting. I
All
need
kind
an
of crazy
interesting
stuff.
story that's not a repeat or a rehash of what we already seen.
Oh.
Getting lazy,
Yeah.
do better.
I have faith that Disney will be able to
right.
steer the ship properly.
Right. I think they will.
I mean, they had to
Yes.
figure out what formula works for right now.
Right.
And
They-
right
they-
now,
they-
sci-fi is so big.
They got a little
have no
greedy.
choice but
They got
to.
greedy.
Yeah.
That's what happened. But speaking of greedy,
Perfect.
this portion of the show is sponsored by Houston Housewives of Finance. Did you know that only 4 states in the United States offer financial education? 33% of Americans don't pay their bills on time. 39% of Americans carry credit card debt from month to month. And 39% of adults say they don't have enough savings. Don't become one of these statistics. Let Houston Housewives of Finance advise you on increasing your cash flow and becoming your own money manager by scheduling your complimentary personal financial strategy. Contact Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463 or email at info@houstonhousewivesoffinance.com. Ask us how you can participate in a complimentary financial literacy workshop near you. Houston Housewives of Finance are the new faces of the new age of financial services.
Yeah, way to segue into that read.
Yeah.
I give you a props.
One
I give you
sentence.
props, man.
One sentence. But
What else on the docket, sir?
there's some more news now. I'm really having just a brain fart right now.
Oh man, we got that Vice trailer. Are we gonna talk about that later?
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about Vice. The trailers we got for y'all a little bit later is Vice, season 2 of Big Mouth.
Which I just watched the trailer of, and I gotta say, holy shit, that's a
Right.
crazy cartoon.
Good,
The
so
second
good.
the second trailer for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and Holmes and Watson.
So let me ask y'all this: out of all the Spider-Man movies, what do y'all think is the best one?
The newest one.
Minus that one. My bad. Let me preface that. Not
Okay,
not
not-
including this new one.
Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2,
2.
yeah.
Doc Ock.
Just
Yeah.
literally for that just the battle scenes along in that movie.
Were epic
are
and nice.
Well, heck,
epic.
Good.
Well, heck,
Good.
not only that, to see him walk away from it, like to see that Peter Parker,
Yeah,
that was pretty.
that was a
dope.
good storyline. That he was like, man, I'm sick of just doing this. I
Like,
want to live my
for real.
Raindrops keep falling. I hear that song. I think of that movie.
Right.
He's just like skipping down the street.
Eating
Yeah.
hot dogs.
See, but it's like I was telling one of my friends the other day. I was like, if you look at Spider-Man 1 and 2 and you actually think about it, those movies kind of fall in line with Spider-Man 3. Like, we sit up there and we get mad at, like, oh, the dancing scene with Peter Parker. But it was like the other two movies had extra scenes that were kind of just super extra. And I'm just like, we panned Spider-Man 3. I mean, it had the terrible villain tie-in, but
That's
it was,
why
it's
we-
not
I mean,
a,
it's obvious because it started getting old though.
but
Like,
looking at the
seeing
bullshit
same
we
thing
have
over and
now,
over.
I really appreciate that movie. I'm like, dang, I wish I would have
I'm-
given it a
I'm
chance.
like
Well, what are you
this.
considering the bullshit though? Because we've got a
Man,
lot
the
of
Toby.
super-
I mean,
Okay.
Fox.
oh, and all
Yeah.
X-Men movies, fantastic.
So
Four
I can't
movies.
agree with you about all X-Men movies. Fantastic Four, the
Yeah.
Silver Surfer
Fir-
was solid.
That was a good one.
First
What
class.
one?
First
Silver
class was
Surfer.
decent.
Very good.
First class was decent. Out of the X-Men.
That was
Apocalypse
good.
is watchable just because it's different. I'm not saying it's good. Like if you think about it way too much,
I rather
then
watch
you start to see
X2.
the whole.
I rather watch X2.
I do like
Really?
X2, especially that scene when he's
No.
going off in the X Mansion and he
Is
just, like,
is that the
slicing
one
everybody.
where
We get
Professor
Colossus.
X like blows up?
Nah, that's
No.
X3. Oh, that's
Okay.
terrible.
That one.
The
That's
X2 is the one where they
trash.
go to Iceman's parents' house.
Ah, yeah.
Oh, and
Pyro and all that.
Pyro's out there just over here trying to scam on this girl.
Yeah.
Nah, I got this
that one
whole-
can miss me too.
Oh God,
No,
what?
dude.
That
No,
movie was
man.
good, man.
Out of all of them, I liked Apocalypse. I liked the very first one where they had like them being young. Logan, which doesn't really count, but Logan's cool. Nice little Western twist on a movie, and then the first one.
It's amazing how we went from Spider-Man to X-Men that quick.
And
Shows you how
It's all
shitty
connected
those
somewhere.
other movies are.
Nah, dude. I mean, they for sure have one of the worst villains of all time, and Jamie Foxx.
Oh,
if
Jamie
you're
Foxx was
listening,
I
which
mean,
probably
I can't believe
not
he
yet.
even
Christopher
Agreed to
said
that.
Worst.
Silver Surfer was trash.
Well, you can get off. The
I agree. Hey, Cuzzo, I agree with you. Silver Surfer
No.
was trash.
You're wrong.
Nothing happened that
You're
whole
objectifying.
entire
That was
movie.
no.
The only thing that was dope about it is that Lawrence Fishburne played the voice of Silver Surfer. That was the only thing dope.
Yeah, that's cool
And he
as shit.
sounded, but it was just like a big old cloud came.
For
and
me,
like,
it was
what do I do
just
with this?
hoping that Galactus would show, and then at the end when they have this little shadow on there.
Poop cloud just coming like, oh, I'm coming to destroy the Earth. I'm just like, oh God, I'm sick of this movie.
Well, there is that. I was reading some stuff with speaking of that it's very possible that Galactus will make an appearance soon.
I hope
in the
so,
movie.
man.
That would be great.
I wonder how they're gonna do it though.
Man, I don't know.
Man,
They've messed up.
It's above my
everybody's
pay
messed
grade.
up so much stuff. It's like you're just
Right.
trying to now redeem yourself with something. I just wonder.
well, if they're able to make Mysterio, and I don't know, we should probably drop that at some point.
Oh yeah, the
And
photos.
they have some photos of him showing he's very, very comic book like. I'm sure they can make Galactus in at that point.
But then I heard.
Well, think about what we had Tyrion as a giant.
we
Yeah,
did.
he's a giant midget.
And we laughed at it,
That's
and we was
true.
like, "Oh, look at this out of place
We
crap."
laughed at it because he was still like you
A
could tell he was
midget.
still a midget
Yeah.
or a little person. Like that was
The
I
fact that
think
he was a
joke.
midget made it this that much. Like,
Yeah.
what? He's
He had the
y'all
same
really
exact
good.
Accepted
proportions.
it.
He was just big.
Yeah.
He was like, all right, I see what you guys did there. Y'all
Whoa,
weren't funny.
Clinton, we can't say all Wolverine movies suck.
What?
No, Logan was a
did not
great
Hey,
suck.
movie.
Logan
Logan
was
did suck,
beautiful.
man.
That film was.
It redeemed everything.
That
You have a
film was-
Western superhero movie.
I will
That's
say
incredible.
the one that. Which
It
one
was-
was it with the
When he's in the future and trying to be old. That one or Origins.
one where he's Asian? Chick?
Oh, when he's in
Yeah, that's the one he's trying. He's
Yeah,
old.
okay.
Double
Double
Wolverine.
Wolverine.
Yeah,
Double
that was
Wolverine.
trash.
That was
that
trash.
movie was good until like
No,
That one or
midway
X3?
part.
That was
Which
trash.
one's worse? That one or X3?
X3.
X3, man. Just for the,
Ooh.
X3.
I mean, I guess just for the
Now,
simple fact is
X3 or Wolverine Origins.
Wolverine Origins was horrible.
Wait.
The CGI was undone
shit.
in that movie.
I tried to
There was a
forget that
scene where
movie.
they throw, man, what is that? The agent that was shooting the gun and he's like flying in the air.
Agent
I was
Zero.
like,
Agent Zero.
like,
Agent
get the
Zero.
No, the best thing about Wolverine Origins was Sabretooth. Because he played Sabretooth perfectly.
Oh, that's true. I did like Liv Schreiber. What is that?
Yeah,
Liv
Liev Schreiber.
Schreiber, yeah.
He was
But there-
amazing.
that's the one where they had Deadpool come back with all the
Yeah,
powers.
and
up.
Yeah.
shoot
Yo, the
laser beams out of
CGI
us.
on that scene
Was
is some of the
horrible.
worst I've ever
Awful.
seen.
Oh, well, if you want to continue listening to the conversation we got going on, tune in after the show. But we thank y'all for tuning in to this Facebook portion live of the show. And we ask y'all to share the show, spread the word. We're trying to get all the viewing people that we can to tune in and listen to us and discuss movies. Also, subscribe to our podcast on all major platforms, including iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, Stitcher, YouTube. What else they got? I think that's all of them. I think we got them all covered. Oh, and then if you go on iTunes, you can review our show. You can give us a good glowing review, and we'll give you some good feedback. Hopefully, y'all can try to get on the show, and we love good guests and interviewing everybody. Also, we ask y'all, please donate.
Give us money.
Give us that money that we love. You can do a one-time donation on Patreon, or you can do a monthly subscription donation. Anyone is fine. We're trying to get out there. We can go see
Monthly.
movies with y'all.
Monthly.
We're gonna go do what else? Oh, what?
Subscription. That's just,
Yeah, we
just
love
do
that
it.
subscription.
Yeah,
You
just
know,
do that.
we know y'all watching out there. Go ahead and tune in, and you're loving this conversation that we got going. So, what else we talking about today?
We got documentaries. Some
Documentaries.
Some we don't rarely talk about, and it's a lot of good documentaries out. So
Oh, well, tune in off camera.
Then we got some incredible trailers we got to break down.
We
4
really
of them,
do,
actually.
yeah.
It's a huge load of trailers today, actually.
yeah.
Well, we signing off. We'll see y'all later. Peace.
All right. The reason I brought documentaries because like we're all pretty much Netflix. We're the Netflix generation now,
That's true.
and one of the best things to binge watch on Netflix is the documentaries.
That's true. That's where we
Like-
get our knowledge from people who don't feel like reading.
Oh, shit.
So accurate.
Yeah, that's so true.
It hurts my soul.
It's
beyond
just- it's
belief.
so bad.
Like, I found out
I'm
so
a
many-
victim of it. I was like, man, just show me a audio. Give me an audio
People
or
do
video.
not read bother me.
Oh man, damn,
ahead.
bother you then.
It's
I read when I have to do for school. What's
profession-
going on?
Profession thing. Sorry.
I got audiobooks.
I'm actually listening to the Ready Player One audiobook right now, and
I'll forgive that.
it's actually.
I'll forgive.
You say you
that.
haven't read it. Listen to the audiobook.
I said I was gonna get the
It's,
audio book.
it's pretty dope.
I said
Will-
y'all said it was better than the movie, right?
Yeah, the book is
The-
definitely
the-
better.
Oh, you said that. I think you said that.
Oh yeah, the book is definitely better than the movie.
Cause like
The-
it's
The book,
darker.
The book breaks down everything, gives you a great backstory. If you haven't read the book and see the movie, you'll like the movie. But
Okay.
reading the book, you're like, you missed this, you missed that, everything like that.
So what documentaries have you guys? What would you guys say is the most recent best ones y'all have watched? Because I'm about to queue up that Quincy Jones one tonight.
Okay, I got 3 Identical Strangers. So in New York, this happened in the 80s. A guy goes to college. He transfers to a college. His name's David. Everyone's like, Eddie, you back, Eddie. And he's like, no. Who's Eddie? Then a guy comes in and is like, come with me. Goes to this guy's house. Finds out the guy has a twin. Story makes the paper. Another guy named Robert sees this. He's like, is there something you need? Am I adopted? It's 3 of them.
Oh shit, that's wild.
It's triplets, identical triplets.
It's on
what the
Netflix.
and that's
Yeah.
what the docu is over.
Yeah, but the thing is, they found out why they were split up.
Aliens.
It was a scientific project.
Aliens. Was it really?
Oh, so they're trying to see how they would grow up personality-wise and all
Well,
that. at
they don't
different
know because
environments.
the study was never released.
Interesting.
Didn't one of them kill themselves?
Yep, one of them killed himself.
I've
in
heard
there.
about
every
this.
every kid, and there's multiple twins and triplets they did it to, and every one of them has some kind of mental deficiency.
Man, look at that.
They were trying to make X-Men is what was going on.
Hey, they should.
I
That's what the fuck
remember
is
that.
happening.
Hey, that'd be pretty
I'm
dope.
thinking at one point, not Criminal Minds, Law and Order did a thing on
You know,
that too.
yeah.
That's because
Yeah.
they were watching Netflix and they were like, "Yo, this
Oh,
is
yeah,
a
we-
crazy ass
Well, on the
documentary."
case, yeah.
Gotta
Yeah.
make this.
Yo, no one's watching this. No one's
Watch
watching
this. We gotta reach.
this. That was on Law and Order.
Plagiarism.
Hell yeah.
That was the most recent one I watched, and I was like,
That gives me a great idea.
it was good, but I'm like, damn, that's the sort of fucked up part of science
Mm-hmm.
when they did stuff like this.
I think
And, like-
Netflix does a really great job of finding obscure ass stories like that.
that are very
And give them a
interesting.
platform.
But they were very popular when the
Mhm.
story came out back in the 80s. Like, they were making the TV shows rounds.
Mhm.
They had their own restaurant. They were in movies just because they were triplets who were lost.
Netflix
They've got
is
one
dope.
on the Masons that I started watching
I
recently.
heard somebody tell. I think Budden. It was on Joe Budden podcast. They were talking about that. The doc.
That might have been one of the shows I,
I said
skipped.
I'm about to watch it.
Yo, they do a really good job early on trying to make this shit seem like super boring.
Mhm.
They interview a bunch of different people, and they're like the oldest temples they have, and they actually go through inside of it, tell you about it and shit. But you start noticing like little things that make you like start questioning stuff, like everybody's driving these fancy cars, and everybody's like got old money, and what are these people's day jobs and all this shit? And they're like, oh yeah, and it's just all dudes, all old guys, just like one black guy in the whole thing. And I guess Netflix like timed it just at that point where they assumed everybody's gonna ask, so are there any black people in this? I literally said, are there any black guys? And they cut to this black dude. It was like, that was
They're reading
creepy.
your mind.
Yeah, and it's like a docu-series,
Mm-hmm.
so they've got like eight or 9 episodes, but it's just interesting seeing like the kind of stuff because they try to make it seem where it's just like they're basically ongoing actors in a play, and that's kind of what they try to position it as. But then they start giving you like these little hints, like, oh yeah, we like to drink a lot, and they show you one of their drinking games that they play for like 2 hours, and they're just standing up drinking. Dude, it's crazy weird, but I'm in the middle of that one. So far so good.
Sounds interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds interesting. To me.
I'm telling you, watch that shit, and you're gonna be sitting there looking like, okay, that's cool. I mean, I don't know if you guys are really big into conspiracy
I'm
theories.
trying to
and
tell
shit
you,
like
man.
that.
Netflix knows its audience, man. It knows
Mhm.
who's gonna be up watching those.
Yeah.
right,
We're
right.
gonna skip that one.
Yeah, we probably
Oh,
skipped it.
tripping.
I'm
All right, well, you tell me one. What do you
The
want to
attack.
watch?
The
Yeah,
attack.
Man, you felt that.
You
shit
attacked-
on-
I felt
you
that.
attacked my
That
opinion.
came from deep.
you
They're
attacked
bragging
my
about
Through the
opinion.
hair
That
follicles
was
that's
right
growing.
here.
I
In the
like
gut.
the Mr. Rogers one.
Oh.
Oh, that's one on Netflix.
I don't cry.
Oh, fuck that. Then.
I was in tears.
Do y'all know they're making a movie?
Yeah, with Colin Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks looks just like him. I
Yeah,
said, oh, shit.
that one, the Quincy Jones one, was awesome.
Gotta watch that.
I saw one a long time ago about
with the Quincy Jones one. Is it like Quincy Jones, like in the interview where he's telling wild ass stories, or is it? 'Cause I know they filmed it over like 10 years apparently. So does it give like in depth into Quincy Jones, or is it just more?
I think
of like,
it's pretty in depth.
Okay.
I think it's pretty.
I want to hear some wild stories from him.
Well, let me
put him on
interrupt
some
y'all.
medication like he was the other day, talking all that nonsense.
I gotta interrupt y'all right quick. Okay, this portion of the show is brought to you by The Spear. Are you starting a business and looking for a place to advertise? Do you need to reach 1,000 of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product? If so, get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at The Spear. We offer a wide variety of content delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States and modern countries across the globe. Our enriched content and inspiring dialogue, coupled with your strategic ad, is surely to hit the mark every time. Call us today at area code 832-772-7789 or send an email over to advertise@thespear.tv. But I'm sorry to cut y'all off like that. Gotta read those things.
Do your thing.
Yes, we do.
But whatchamacallit, the docs I love to watch all the. I'm sorry. I didn't
How you
even
gonna
cut
cut
off.
off?
That is so cold. That's so cold to me.
Rude.
It's so cold.
See, I may attack you, but then I'll turn around and defend you.
That's
too.
that's
Got
the
you.
type of energy. That's the type of friend you need, right?
It's okay.
I slap you and I give you a compliment. It's
And then
perfect.
pick me up. But no,
Balance.
that one, I like the Quincy Jones one. And also, there was one that came out a long time ago about murders that happened on the East Coast with nuns. Do you remember?
Wow.
Interesting.
Nuns are killing people?
No, they were.
Oh.
They were doing some investigation.
Oh, okay.
But the two that I really watched was the Mr. Rogers one and Quincy Jones. Other than that, I've been doing just other stuff.
I'm waiting for one to come out about Prince.
I love
know.
bio docs, and that's all I'm watching from, like, listening to
I
what
don't
the
think there'll
sports.
ever be one about Prince.
You don't think so? They don't let them divulge
iTunes
their
has
life?
his music now.
Oh no,
His-
his religion.
Huh?
Point.
They'll never have one about
His
Prince.
religion.
Yeah, he's Jehovah's Witness.
There will never be one about Prince.
They also said
They just
5
delete
years
his
ago
past.
that Apple would never have his music, and they're releasing. 'Cause I have 2 of the albums now. Music that had never been released before from his estate. One of them's like where he just goes through and does a whole run of his music just on piano, like at a.
Oh, I've heard of that. They had like
it's
the
dope.
acoustic. I mean, did you send me that? Somebody sent me that.
No, I didn't even know you were a Prince fan. I for sure am.
Now another one I saw was
Oh, y'all didn't let me tell me one out.
Oh, go ahead.
Because you don't matter.
No, I'm not playing. Okay. Oh, it's fine. Go.
Go,
Take over
go
the show.
ahead.
No, I just real quick. The ones I like are the ones over like musicians, over like famous people and stuff like that. So the Defiant ones was the most recent one I seen.
That was dope.
Which was pretty dope.
Yeah.
And then also I watched one about which one did I
You
just
see
watch?
the Art of Organized Noise?
Mm-mm.
That was good.
I was going to look that up,
That was good.
but I got distracted into watching. Netflix has like a docu-series over like
On
a lot of
hip-hop.
rappers are like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's like
There's a
Jeezy,
Rapture.
T.I.'s
I think
on
it's
there.
what's called Rapture.
Yeah.
It's really good, man. And just to seeing the mindset on a lot of these artists. So I'll check that out.
And like you, I like
Yeah.
the famous stuff too. The Robin Williams one.
Motley Crue has one.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
One more I forgot. Andy, what was it? Jim and Andy. I just watched that one
Andy
too.
Kaufman.
Oh yeah,
That was pretty
Yo,
good.
he's a crazy.
He's
comedian,
crazy.
dude.
But you know
Yes.
that's the role that changed
Jim Carrey.
True, man. Look at him because he'll tell you that. And if you look at him, he kind of became who he is through that
Right.
role.
He said that was the role that changed him.
Yeah, he had
But,
a whole interview on comedians and coffee with him and,
Yeah.
and Jerry Seinfeld, and he talks
When he's
about
like
that.
pouring the thing from the
Yeah.
stand on the table.
Yeah. That shit's wild. Yeah, trying to get the cream
like,
into
"Oh,
the
gotta
cup
get him."
or stevia, whether
Yeah.
he trying to get his drop of stevia.
But the Robin Williams one was good. Like
I would cry.
you might. 'Cause
I'm
it's-
a Robin Williams
He's-
fanatic, man. That dude right there. His movies.
He had a sad, really sad story, but he always tried to just give it to you as best as possible.
Mhm.
And the way he died, it's not how we think.
Because he had those.
He had a condition.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called, but something that was basically eating away at his brain.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that didn't.
His
And-
wife was talking about
Right, and
that.
that's why he committed suicide because he was losing control of his mind and body.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's like
I don't think
violent
anyone
dementia
knew
type
that.
of. Yeah, well,
Yeah,
his
that-
wife came out and started trying to
yeah.
talk about it, but it didn't get much media coverage.
Yeah, when it
Oh,
first happened, we all
wow.
thought, oh, he just killed himself. He was
That's not
depressed.
too interesting for just
Right.
to hear that.
Yeah, I literally just heard that like literally a few weeks ago.
They
That's
talked about it
That's what
because
I said.
Bobcat Goldthwait, they were filming together.
Mhm.
And Bobcat was like, he could see like Robin Williams would come in one day,
cheerful and
basically Mrs. Doubtfire Robin Williams,
love it.
and turn around the next day and be 1 hour photo Robin Williams. Like his
demeanor would flip like that.
And he knew it, and he couldn't control it.
That's crazy.
sad.
What's one documentary that you guys watched that was like you feel like was truly inspiring to you? Like not, I don't mean where it's like, oh, I thought I never knew this about this person, but do you think like touched you in a way that made you change your like outlook on life?
Mine are usually the ones on a lot of these athletes when I get to see how they come from, what they come from, and just how their environment shapes them.
That's why I still watch Hard Knocks.
Yeah, Hard Knocks is
Hard
good.
Knocks is still
But like
good to me.
NFL films, like they do like a lot of those, and just like the NBA players or baseball players, just knowing the life, the people that you like to praise up, don't always. It's never been always just like flowers and roses. So just seeing their struggle always inspires me. Just like, hey man, everybody has it hard out there.
What's one you got?
So there's not really a documentary, but there's I was listening actually to an interview on my way here with Damon John.
Yeah.
And he was just talking about like the struggles it took for him to get Fubu and everything off the ground, and it was crazy because if you watch him on like Shark Tank and stuff now, hearing him,
His interviews are good.
And I've tried to listen to his podcast and all this stuff, and like I don't care too much for that, but when he interviews and he starts telling you like being rejected from like 89 until 1996 to get his shit off the ground, especially being someone who's on that entrepreneurial road right now, that definitely because you don't see too many black people being interviewed who not only made it in that respect, but also made it in something that has nothing to do with music or sports. And like hear that he had all the money, he had lived the rock style lifestyle, all that stuff, and then see him still being healthy, thriving, and pushing a positive message out there.
Yeah.
I think more along those lines.
Didn't he say something about he never checks his phone when he wakes up or something like that? There's something
There's a lot of
and he has a lot of good
good
good gems he drops about like not checking your phone. It always disturbs your day and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It was just like a lot of gems.
There's a lot of actors in entertainment who do not even use, like Keanu Reeves doesn't use any technology.
That's why he can run around.
Kanye West had a BlackBerry for years.
That's why he can run around on a horse and just shoot folks. Get ready for that John Wick 3.
For me, it's the ones about like with the Mr. Rogers one, things that I grew up with, and just seeing what he went through to get the show started, him testifying, letting them know what kids need, stuff like that. It's like it really touched me because during that time for us, there really wasn't that type of this is for this mind, this is for your ethnic group. This is all we all love Mr. Rogers. We all loved Golden Girls. We all loved the same things during that time for me. So I like shows like that.
Mr. Rogers is significant too because he's one of the few people who had that kind of influence, whose reputation wasn't tarnished. It still hasn't been, and then you find out things about him like in his real life where you're like, yo, he's even more genuine than we thought.
Right.
Do y'all ever just dang, I lost my question.
It's all right.
Dang it.
No one interrupted you.
Oh, it's all right.
I was gonna say something after you and he
No one interrupted you.
You gotta be
Just-
quicker, man. You just swoop in
All right.
Gotta be-
like a hawk.
We got
Faster
4
than that.
trailers.
I
But
didn't
before we
catch
get to the trailers, what's one documentary y'all recommend for people listening or watching? One documentary. Which one? You want someone to watch something? Just the one you want them to watch.
I'll come back.
All right, Mark.
I'm gonna say the How High one, man. There's a I'm gonna be honest with you. I forgot the one it was. It's one about cannabis, and it's like explaining it to the people that have these false, I want to say these false ideologies about cannabis.
Yeah.
And I think it's really interesting just to know, and it opened my mind to stop judging at a point of my life when I used to judge people that were different or weren't raised like me. And I said that's the type of documentary that makes you open your mind and be like, okay, you know what, I need to.
Which one would you recommend, Erline?
I got nothing. Come back to me.
I'm gonna say Poverty Inc. When it shows like the stuff that these charities do in these other countries, how it actually hurts the economies.
That's a good one.
And stuff like that. It's like they went over to Africa and it's like how America gave so much charity to Haiti that it basically destroyed the economy.
Yeah, charity hardly ever works.
Right.
Statistically, anyways. For me, it would be, I don't even know if you'd count this as a full-on documentary, but Idiocracy. I like that a lot because that's the first time you see somebody go through and directly challenge people on their religious views. And it's not so much like the fact that it's either disproving or proving one religion or another. It's more of like, promoting the idea to question your own foundation, to make sure that either one, your convictions make sense for you, and two, to realize that other people believe other things. And even though that's not the main role of that documentary, that's just what I took from that whole thing.
I like it.
Right. Still nothing.
Still got nothing.
Still nothing.
All right, we're going to go to the trailers.
But before we do that, because we don't want to be interrupted doing those things, we got one more sponsor to shout out.
Oh, yeah. Kill that read.
This portion of the show is sponsored by KOG and Company. Are your unique gifts and talents changing the world? Unleash Your Dopeness is a people empowerment movement built to encourage the masses to operate outside of their fears and have the gall to recklessly pursue their dreams and passions in life. Join thousands of others as we unlock the greatness that dwells inside. Shop dope gear at KOGpassion.com. That's KOGpassion.com and use coupon code DOPE for 10% off exclusive Unleash Your Dopeness apparel. Act now. Sizes are selling out fast.
And you know what? Elijah killing it with the music.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize there was music playing.
I'm in my vibe, man.
So, we just got through talking about documentaries.
All right.
So the first trailer we're going to talk about is a biopic
Yes.
based on former Vice President Dick Cheney.
Scares me.
I mean,
That's the first thing I thought of was Guantanamo Bay when he was like, yo, that guy scares me.
It's like no one knew this was Christian Bale when I shared it to certain people.
like, you don't realize it.
Because he's that good.
He disappears.
He totally disappears into his role.
He really is like good at
He's good.
disguises.
He is
Right.
good.
He's like
It's
Daniel
scary,
Day-Lewis.
though. Yeah,
But
it's scary
that's
how good.
This cast is crazy.
This is
It's a phenomenal
dope
cast.
Steve Carell, man.
Steve Carell, Sam Rockwell,
Amy Adams, Sam Rockwell. It's
Christian Bale.
It is good to see Amy.
And this
Adams.
is from the same director that did The Big Short about the banks.
Adam McKay.
Yeah.
Also did Step Brothers and
Yo, and Steve Carell was in
Anchorman.
that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great movie.
yeah, this is gonna be good.
But it's basically showing Dick Cheney, and like he's got the lip curl. Like, how do you get enough weight in your neck to look like
Yeah, you
that?
know it's real, man.
Right.
They show that glorious belly he got. I mean,
Hey, man. See, shout out to the actors that be really sacrificing for a role.
Yeah. Here's the thing that's interesting too is that the way it's stylized makes me think of like American Gangster.
American Gangster?
Yeah.
And I mean, I like that because that really takes a movie that's like discussing serious things and still adds that entertainment
That
value
flavor.
to it.
Look at
I'm
that
telling
belly.
you, that's real.
Glorious.
That belly
Has
is
to be
real.
Shout out to the Bellies.
But he plays someone who's just so. They just seem
The
ruthless.
lip
They ask
curl,
him
like-
though.
See,
Like,
Carell look
you-
good,
you
man.
Even more ruthless.
Reminds me of,
Believe
have you
that.
seen, what's that,
Foxcatcher.
Foxcatcher, when he
Yeah, the
disappeared in the
Wrestler, oh, the DuPont.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
documentary is actually pretty crazy.
That's
too,
when
though.
that's when I looked at Steve Carell like, ooh, wait,
But
this
he's
man is
transitioned
good.
really well. That's what you need to do. You do funny stuff all the time, but he's really taken seriously as a serious actor.
Actor, yeah.
Well, yeah, I think that's how Tom Hanks started off.
You
Tom
have
Hanks
to.
started
You
off.
have
See,
to
and I
do
never
it.
knew that years ago, but then I found out.
Oh
like,
yeah, the
he
show Bosom Buddy. Was it Bosom Buddies?
Yeah,
the show,
Bosom
yeah,
Buddies.
Bosom Buddies with him.
Bachelor Party, Big. I mean,
Yeah.
You start off.
he was a
doing
comedic actor, but
Yep.
look at him now. Like,
Hold it down, Steve Carell.
Steve
40-year
Carell.
virgin is still the best.
heck, you got two Oscar winners right there: Christian Bale and Sam Rockwell.
Oh, yeah. What do you win
That-
for
I
Moon?
just feel like he's at Sam Rockwell.
Yeah, what do you win
No,
for?
he won for three
Three
billboards.
Oh, that was a
He was
great
best
movie.
supporting
Phenomenal.
Finally
movie.
saw that a month ago.
Yeah.
I mean,
That was
what?
really,
That
really
movie's
good.
great.
He's like Mahershala Ali to me right now. That
Yeah.
rocket is in the air now.
For who?
I'm just worried right now for
For
him.
who?
I'm saying
Sam
Rockwell.
Rockwell.
His
But I feel like he's already been.
He's
up
been
there.
there.
Since
Well,
Moon. Since Moon that's when he kind of took off, and everybody was
How
like,
many
"Wow."
people do you know seen that movie?
A lot of the critics that it matters to.
So we're talking about.
Were you talking about mainstream?
Mainstream?
Because that's
But
who
not a
comes
lot
out
of
and puts
mainstream
money
people
there.
saw 3 billboards. At all, really?
I think it pulled out actually some
it
decent
actually
money.
it did really well.
We got to look at that
But
one.
and if you look at his movies like Seven Psychopaths, it's one of my favorite movies.
That's
a
good movie.
really
Didn't
Not
good
we?
many
movie.
people
Yeah.
seen that movie.
That was a good
And it's a
movie.
great movie. So I mean, to his character, he's been in the industry for a very
Just
long
like
time.
Mahershala.
And he's
But now
always
he's
done
starting
good
to hit
work
the pivot.
though.
Right.
I
Yeah.
don't. He's very little. I love almost everything he's done.
Yeah, he's got. There's something about his delivery that I really.
He does
really
crazy
like.
really well.
I like him in
wish
Charlie's
he come-
Angels
I wish
too.
he come back to
He
the,
does crazy
Marvel
really well.
Cinematic
He
Universe.
does crazy awesome.
And it's
Man.
believable because it's not too over the top.
No, it's really good.
I
think
they
he really
say in
is
Tropic-
crazy.
I don't want to say that line from Tropic Thunder.
Go ahead.
You don't go full retard.
right.
That's the only thing I can think from Tropic Thunder.
He didn't play in Tropic Thunder.
No, but that line is
okay.
perfect though for
Oh,
him.
okay.
Because we talk about how
Like,
never
Rockwell
go full
does
retard.
crazy.
He goes right to that border.
That edge.
Because it's not too much.
Him and
you know?
Green Mile.
Oh, that
He was great in there.
Yeah.
But I'm just worried that I'm going to be constantly comparing him to Josh Brolin's W.
You have to
in this
release
one.
that. Like, you can't do that.
But how do you
That's
do that so
unfair.
hard?
Don't do that. You have to walk into this.
But we never watched a movie where someone played the same role.
I
without
literally said,
comparing
and I'm
them.
going to always say, that's always been my film that made me look at George Bush in another way. And that
100%.
it's embedded in my mind.
You
His
have to give him his due.
I'm going to give him his I'm
Leave
gonna
that
give him a shot.
there.
But he's one of my favorite actors. So
I'm going to give him
Leave
a
that
shot.
there.
But
I'm
also,
gonna-
Josh Brolin is also
When
on
I
this
walk-
huge upswing where all
when
his
I-
movies are hitting.
Looking
Yes,
at when I
yeah,
walk
he's
and
doing-
see the Joker movie, I'm be
Not
like,
all.
I'm be like, man,
Sicarios was garbage, but he was good in Sicario.
he was good Sicario.
Jonah Hex.
He was good. He was the best
He's on
thing.
an upsong right now.
Oh, no,
Jonah Hex
upswing.
was trash.
We're not going to
He's
even
on an
discuss that one.
Okay. Okay.
That
What was
never,
the
that
biopic?
never
So
happened.
That's
That
why I
never
gave him more
happened.
love. 'cause
Jonah
it was-
Hex was a biopic.
No, I'm talking about W. I was saying that's why he's.
You say you
vulnerable.
know, dude, you can keep
You know
up.
for a role.
Keep up.
He was talking about somebody from a role, and he was naming them, and I was saying that
Yeah.
W was a biopic, so it
It's
was
just
like
that
I
when
was
you said
embedded in
that
the
and you
line.
said Jonah, I was like, dog, that definitely is not. I don't know
It's all
what
good.
universe
Yeah,
you
yeah,
live
you
in,
lost
but
me on that one.
I don't think that ever happened.
I didn't say
And
that.
I
to
could be
them.
wrong though.
That
but I didn't
Vice
say
movie-
that about Jonah Hicks.
That Vice movie comes out same weekend as another one of our trailer movies.
Oh, which movie?
Marvel. Spider-Man.
Marvel comes out.
Also, it's coming out in December.
Yeah.
Oh,
That Vice
shit.
comes out in December.
Man, you know what? This fall season got some good
Like I
hitters.
said,
I'm
this fall
telling
season,
you.
I
The
think
summer
is
was
better than the summer.
summer.
The summer was shaky.
So much better.
There's some stuff coming out this month that's going to be awesome.
I'm ready for this, man.
Yeah, I am too. I mean,
Look at that shout out to the old Spider-Man movie.
Yo,
Right.
Now we get to see him actually be as powerful as he's supposed to be.
right.
Punching a damn car back out, bro. That's crazy.
Instead, they make it.
It was supposed to be a shout out to
Spider.
Spider-Man. What's that? 2 when he caught the. Remember when he saved.
Well, yeah, he
The
just.
train,
It
yeah.
was, like,
Yeah.
it was a play on it because he was like, I've been there, done that.
But the fact that it has, I was hyped for this movie already, and then seeing this trailer, seeing all the other different Spider-Verse
And how they come into the universe also was intriguing and smart how they did it.
Yeah.
Yo, this would be crazy if Marvel was using this as a test too to see how we accept on a movie other versions of the same character. Because then that would open the door for these alternatives.
I heard they
Supermans
have
and
no
all
hand in
kind of
this
shit.
at all.
If they did, it's
But-
smart to do this, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
And
it
even-
is.
even
Should
if
did a
they
long
don't,
time
though,
ago.
But even if they don't, though, they can still look at this and say, "All right, so the crowd, the people are ready for this.
What
We've
Let's
been
bring
ready.
Superman as
I-
a black guy and
I'm
the president.
telling you, man,
We've been
Brainiac
ready.
they
as the
saw
secretary.
that. They saw Batman, the Lego Batman movie, and was like, "We can do that, shit.
movie
And
is
we can do it more."
incredible.
Because it
That movie's
winking at
incredible.
its old movie, man. The Batman Lego movie did that the whole movie, and I'm just like, it made it that great. So look at all the lore of Spider-Man. You can like wink at like the old Japanese cartoon, or all the way back to the
Right.
like the what's that Amazing Spider-Man Friends or whatever you call them out. Just all the nods they can do in this movie.
This is going to be
So this is
good.
actually my first time watching the full trailer. This is dope.
It just
That's
came out today.
Spider-Gwen?
No, or yesterday. What was it? Yesterday or today? This
Yesterday, I
morning?
think, yeah.
This
Yes,
morning, I
actually.
think.
Yeah, Spider-Gwen.
Oh, wow.
Would you mind letting it keep playing?
A lot in the zone. I feel you. Like
But here's my favorite part. We get
Spider-
Spider-Ham.
Spider Pig, Spider Pig. Does
It
whatever
was
a
Spider Pig does.
That's my shit, man. I actually do that with my son. I hold him up on.
Oh,
That's
look
that's
at that.
awesome. That is
Oh,
awesome.
look at that.
I don't know if it's great
Father,
parenting,
son.
but
Hey.
He's on him.
Awesome.
Daddy, get off me.
never, not
Awesome.
once. He's tried and missed. Yeah. And he laughed too. And he was like,
He'll catch you off guard.
"I'll beat you."
There's only one thing. Being the comic book guy, I wish they would include 2 other Spider-Man.
Which ones?
The clones. You remember he had 2 clones. This Ben Parker and wait.
I do not know nothing about
That's
that.
crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is that old boy who's the guy in the chair? Is that who that's supposed to be?
I guess I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
But
Shout out to Miles
So-
Morales.
The one thing I don't. So what is the purpose? Like, what's happening in this movie?
Okay, so I guess the MacGuffin is there's a machine that goes off that's ripping the dimension and destroying.
And it collides.
Brooklyn, and they collide, and that's where
and they
the-
all go into Miles Morales universe.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Well, that's an interesting.
And
setup.
Brooklyn's
I
in
like that.
trouble.
And Brooklyn's in trouble. Might see
Dum,
Luke Cage
dum,
walk out
dum.
there. What up, Rosario?
What's next?
So we
I
got.
mean, it's gonna be a dope trailer, man. I can't wait. I mean, not a dope trailer, but
It's gonna be a dope movie. I'm glad Marvel's taking the risk. They've had some weak animation.
Yeah, DC's been crushing it with their animation.
DC crushes it, but DC's starting to get repetitive now.
But this is Sony
Yeah.
animation. What are you talking about? DC getting repetitive?
Because all the animation is basically it's just Batman.
Man, but did you see The Death of Superman?
Yeah,
Man,
that's old. That's an older one though.
No,
like,
I'm talking about the new one that just dropped like a couple of weeks ago.
I didn't see
in
that
the cinematic universe. Like, they have the string of the Justice League movies and their side character movies. So this is at The Death of Superman, and I look at that movie and it had the emotional punch that
it should have had in the
real
movie.
movie should have had, but
Speaking of Superman, I went back and watched Man of Steel. That's
What
a
a
great
fucking movie.
It's a really good
so
movie.
good.
It's
Even
phenomenal.
more reason why I say he's pissed off that he doesn't have his own movie.
because
That
he
movie was great.
It's a
deserved
really
it.
good
He
movie.
killed that role.
He did.
It was panned
The
so
weight-
hard, but
the
it's so
weight-
good.
Oh, when he had to break Zod's neck, the weight of that decision.
you
Did you feel it? Did you feel it? I was like,
I felt like I was the only one. I was like, God.
you have to do it, but I
And then
felt
the-
and then the
I
wailing
felt
afterwards.
him.
That wailing afterwards, I'm like, yeah.
But just hearing his, seeing his dad tell him
When he just
let him
like,
die.
oh.
And when he told him to
when he told
go.
him to just let the kid die, I was like,
Oh.
that's fucking dark.
When he's had that
I like
conversation, he was
that.
like, what should I do? Save him? Should I let him
But
die?
no, but when the tornado came and he told him don't come, I was like,
and that pause, and they just had that still
he's-
shot of him just doing like that.
And you
Choke up.
You see him scream, but you can't hear it. And I was like, oh, man.
but you felt that
You
scream
felt that
though.
scream.
That
I
came
was
from
like,
deep.
yeah.
That was awesome.
People don't resonate with Henry Cavill's Cavill's version of Superman, but he does it so well.
He does it
It's
because
believable.
he makes it a standpoint that
The
he
crazy
feels
thing
like
is-
an alien.
when it first came out, I don't think it was appreciated. I think now that it's been out and you go back and watch it, it's been appreciated more. Like Blade Runner.
That's true.
To see the first Blade Runner in the movie theaters, it wasn't appreciated. But once it got out of movie theaters,
Yeah, I think it's gonna be one of those movies that ages way better.
yeah.
Every
And
time I
then
watch that
10 years
movie, it
from
gets
now.
better and better. I'm talking about from him just learning how to fly and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It was golden.
That's one of my favorite scenes, especially with the cinema. You got Hans Zimmer.
Oh, man.
with the,
When he
soundtrack.
started flying, I was
Right.
like, dog, I'm sold.
Fucking and when you compare him to the old Supermans, they don't even compare. Christopher Reeve's
But I'm
Yo,
like,
but-
the direction that Zack Snyder was doing with that film, and then probably he would grow into the Superman that we all knew and loved,
Yeah.
where he's ready to risk,
I think
okay,
Nolan had more influence on that movie than
he had to, because it's basically Batman.
storytelling
but
in it
it's
for
basically,
sure feels
Yeah.
like
It's
Nolan.
because
Batman's
once
Begins.
Nolan left, you can see the difference.
Oh yeah, when they let Zack Snyder off his leash.
Yeah.
Dog.
Let the cuckoo crazy.
It was a big difference.
Yeah.
More lightning flares. Everywhere. Everyone gets when you get a flare. You get a flare.
Yellow skies.
God.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Fire skies. That's what I want. Fire
Those are the
skies.
most.
Yeah, because
Wonder Woman, you get a fire sky too.
I think people don't realize the great content and backstory of comics.
Mm-hmm.
You can
People take up these movies, it's like with X-Men, they do
What?
all this imagery and all this stuff, and you're missing the content.
Some
behind it.
studios don't get that though.
I think it's because it's too much. They think it's too much work to try and
Too
filter
mature.
out what story to tell. Because if you look at what's the movie with Rorschach and Dr. Manhattan?
Watchmen.
Watchmen. That
Oh,
movie
I
was
love it.
very, very dense with the story of it. And a lot of
Zack
people didn't
Snyder.
like it.
And I
But
loved
I
it.
thought that was a
I
great
loved
movie.
it.
It was
Loved
long. It took the time
Speaking
to
of
unfold.
that,
Loved
Netflix picking it up.
I did not know
It's
that.
gonna be a series.
What you talking about?
Are you
No,
serious?
it's not on Netflix. It's on HBO.
Oh, it's HBO.
HBO.
But
got
they're
it.
really making it a series?
I'm worried with
But
HBO
it's
doing
none
it.
of
I'm
the.
not.
It's none of the,
Oh, well,
the
Game of
characters
Thrones,
that we
right?
know. They're doing like other characters. In
Yeah,
the
because there's a
universe.
whole lot more in the
Yeah.
Watchmen universe.
I'm interested in it.
and I felt that the Watchmen, after reading the graphic novel, I was like, this should have been a series.
But there's
For
a
sure.
lot of comic
For
book
sure.
movies that should be just right. Put the budget to these movies and let them be on Netflix.
Y'all
or
told me of
something.
a crazy one, Irredeemable, where the guy, he's like Superman but more powerful.
Invincible.
And then Invincible, is
Yeah.
that what it is?
Yeah,
Okay,
Invincible, yeah.
That shit, I looked that stuff up. I think
Is
there's
it-
the second one called Irredeemable, where it's like the story switches and it's
Yeah.
from the perspective of the villain. This shit's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like a guy who's like all powerful. They kill his girl and he becomes a villain and starts killing people.
Sounds
in
about
small
right.
cities.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, sounds like what
All that
Superman does.
vengeance.
If Superman
Right.
does,
I would- I would be a
Injustice,
villain.
Injustice stuff.
they kill Lois, and he just like, okay,
I
all you
would
humans.
totally be a
Well, heck,
villain.
he had like that's one of the best storylines DC ever did because he's pissed off at Batman. He's like, you could have took care of this a long time ago, and this one
And
happened.
you allowed it to happen. But oh no, they had to soften it up because they feel like we too stupid.
And I think people overlook that about Superman because they always say he's not relatable. But it's like, but look at his actions when crisis happens and how he like shows his human side. Like,
But the
crazy
movie
how
made,
human he is.
and I feel like Man of Steel
Man of
is
Steel
the
did
one
that,
that
for
communicated.
sure.
Yeah.
Because
For
it was
sure.
just like he felt like a loner. He felt like he was an outcast, and I just feel like they did a great job.
And they did a
communicating
good job
it.
showing him as a little angsty teen fighting with
Yeah.
his parents, being a little brat, and then something
Exactly.
bad happens and he can't take that back, and then
Right.
how it shapes his perspective of the world. It's like,
Oh, and the
Superman's
action in that movie
superhuman.
was
Yo, yeah.
phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
A1. Those long shots that they did far away, you can just see him flying into buildings and shit.
Yeah.
And rattle,
Good.
like,
And I wish they would have kept Favreau alive. Favreau was
Oh man, when she
Favreau
hit
was
him
a
with
beast.
that 18-man combo, I was like, oh, straight out of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
She ain't even stopping me.
super.
Finish him.
whoopsie.
Flawless victory.
Now, Will Ferrell got a new project out, and it's coming out in December as
I'll
well.
take it.
It's because we were just talking about how we wanted to see another one of these movies
Right.
too. This isn't the one we were asking for, but shit.
But yeah,
I'm
he mentioned it. He mentioned it in one episode
Yeah.
about the Sherlock one.
yeah, but we were
And I
talking
didn't
about
know-
bringing
oh,
like a
okay.
series back. But
Right.
yeah,
But here we have Holmes and Watson. There's one part of this trailer that I died laughing at
Look at
every
the
I
single
really
time.
like those two together. I really do.
I do too.
I mean, they're a great
they're
duo.
so
Hey,
good.
what about John C. Reilly? He's on a hot streak right now, man.
I do want to see the new Western he got coming out.
The one
oh,
with
so, the brother sisters
Yeah.
with him and Joaquin Phoenix has great reviews.
That seems
Looks
It's
great.
out
so
limited,
good.
but it's I think it's out further.
It's
a little bit
further.
later.
It
In
gets
November,
a wide
right?
release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got like, I
think
think like
November.
right now though, credit is like sitting at like a 90 something.
Oh man, these two though.
They're so good together. I'm sorry.
I can never get tired of Will
Just let it
Ferrell.
play, Elijah. I just want to get to the B scene. I mean,
It is I, Sherlock.
I never left.
Yo, he looked like the
And I love it,
the,
like-
villain from Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Yeah.
This plays
He
with the
does.
Robert Downey one,
Yeah.
just to kill a fly on the chef of the Killer Bee Colony. This right.
They gotta have Robert Downey and Benedict
I hope
Cumberbatch in
they
here.
have at least one.
I
of
think
them
he
in there.
wants
Like a
to
little
do
cameo over them or something.
They gotta
Yeah,
have a
man.
cameo. Holmes?
Oh,
That's a
Holmes.
good villain.
That's a good
Yeah.
Moriarty.
Oh my
is
god,
it?
yes. He's so
That's
good.
Voldemort.
It's so good.
Oh, Ralph
Ralph
Fiennes,
Fiennes, whatever.
whatever you
He's a
say.
phenomenal actor.
He's a great actor, and I didn't know he was that. It's like Voldemort put me on, and then I went back and watched his other films. I was like, oh, he's really a good
He's
actor.
A bunch of good movies.
He's phenomenal. He's another one that takes on his role completely.
Oh, and that's old boy from Hamlet 2. You ever seen that the movie? Oh, that movie's it's so bad that it's good. They remake
Hamlet 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
They have a song in there called "Rock Me, Sexy Jesus." Like,
Oh my God.
it's just fucking
I'm gonna have to
hilarious.
send it in my head. now.
Hamlet 2.
Yeah.
But
Let me
like I
look
said,
at it.
we've been
It's a
waiting
comedy?
on some.
Oh, for sure, it's a comedy. 100%. There's
Just-
nothing else to describe it.
Hey, shout out to the Christmas season, man. This
The
and,
holiday season period, though.
Transform or Bumblebee and
I say the holiday season because in November we get a lot of good stuff. We get Fantastic Beasts right near Thanksgiving.
yeah, and then
So ready
you
for that.
reminded me that we
I'm dressing up for
we
it.
get what you call it dang it,
Widows.
Oh, that's
Aquaman.
I'm so
I
ready.
was like, damn, I totally forgot about Aquaman.
I mean,
so ready for Widows.
October, November, December
Widows,
might
I'm
be the
ready.
strongest 3
Give
months
me all
of this year.
Viola Davis, man.
Because everything else has been pretty. Widows is going to be a fucking dope movie.
I mean, everything else we had like 1 or 2
concept is
in
pretty
a
dope.
month that was really
Yeah.
good.
There's some powerful actresses in there. I mean, it's
Oh,
gonna be a
man.
good one. It's
Yeah.
gonna be good.
All they needed was my girl. What's her name?
Well, hey,
that
there's some
played-
powerful actors. You got Liam Neeson in it.
Liam Neeson.
They gonna
tired
kill
of
them
Liam
off early.
Neeson.
They gonna
But
kill them off
still-
early. Can't
Well,
wait.
one, he's playing a bad guy, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
If as long as they don't have him trying to do too many fights.
But he's dying. But he's dying in the
Right,
beginning
he-
of the
he's
movie,
he's
basically.
the leader of the thieves.
Do you?
that's right. Yeah.
I
They
can't
have
wait.
some flashback scenes with him.
I'm good. I'm ready for it, man. Viola Davis. I feel like it should be
It's
more
just
Viola
it's so
Davis out there in the world.
much coming in from this point all the way to the end of the year. It's so much
Yeah.
stuff.
Some really
It's
good
been a
stuff.
very slow start to the year with these movies, but this
The summer,
back half has
the
been-
summer was a little disappointing.
Actually, the first 3 months what was that with where
Black Panther.
Black Panther came out and then Ready Player One came out. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
like
but there's a lot of
good
movies that
stuff
should have
for
been.
me.
Yeah, there's a lot of movies that flopped.
We had some good ones in January. I can't remember right now.
I can't remember off the
Then
top
you
of my
can't
head.
remember them.
Oh, then they weren't.
I mean, of course, Avengers.
Oh, that movie where he was a robot. Oh man, what
Upgrade.
movie? Upgrade. That movie was off
I
the
still
chain.
haven't watched that
That
movie.
came out
Upgrade was
in
good.
I
January.
haven't seen that.
That
movie
was good.
That was
It was
one that
very
was-
underrated.
Yes.
It's very underrated.
Upgrade.
And we've got one more trailer.
Yes, we do.
where is the trailer?
What is the
This
trailer?
is something that comes
Oh,
out.
Rocket Man.
No.
No?
Oh, dog! Did y'all see that one though?
We did.
I've been listening to Elton John like constantly.
The last trailer is
It's a teaser. So just knowing in the universe there's a...
Oh shit! Yeah, duh. Watch this right before Kevin.
right. Big Mouth season 2 drops this Friday.
This is so good.
What y'all got against Rocket Man though?
I'm not. I don't think I like who they cast to play.
I'm not sure. He it sounded like he's
It was
singing.
supposed to be
him, though.
Tom Hardy,
He's
but
singing.
he
I'm
backed
telling
out.
you, he's singing. He backed out.
Tom Hardy had backed out when
Tom
it
Hardy-
switched.
I wouldn't want Tom Hardy playing
I
Elton
can't
John.
see him. do
Yeah, I
that.
don't know if I want Tom Hardy.
But I'm
like-
not sure
But,
about
oh
this
boy, I
one.
don't like him though.
I
Kingsman's
like him
pretty
as an
good.
actor, so I'm...
For Kingsman and the one he played that athlete who was skiing and stuff.
But he played in another movie, and I mean,
in a lot of
we're gonna
stuff.
see. The dude is directing Bohemian Rhapsody is directing that movie, so I'm just like, I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
But
So-
this right here, Big Mouth.
God, Lee, it's such a crazy. It's
So
so demented.
good.
It's such a demented cartoon.
Thank God.
And
for
I'm not
Netflix
ashamed that I love it.
for
Yeah,
bringing stuff
hell.
like this to us.
I'm not ashamed.
They've been really playing around with the adult cartoon market too. With like the other one, Enchanted.
I'm still waiting on Castlevania.
Well, that's how they say. I mean, it's cheaper for them.
So is it? Are you hoping for? Or is it supposed to? Is
No,
it
it
on
was
the
supposed
dock?
to drop this summer.
And what happened? Did they say anything?
There's no new news.
Hey man, I'm loving that Netflix gave me Boss Baby, so I'm just good. Like I give that to Xavier,
pretty
like,
good.
hey, boom,
Pretty good.
Xavier's sold on that TV series. It's a
So
TV series. They
good.
turned it into a TV series, and I was just like, what?
So, Nick Kroll, for anybody who hasn't seen this, is the brains behind this. He's in the League. He had the Kroll Show. He's got a number of other credits on IMDb and all that. But he's a truly insane person when it comes to comedy. Like he takes such mundane things and just makes them way more funny than what they should be.
True.
Like with these, like this whole scene right here with this fucking pube. Like,
Because there's young men out there who have been here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like all of this shit, but I think it works with women, like with
We
women
live in-
too. There's like
we-
things that they identify with, like when you're going, like the hormone monster thing. That was a
living-
genius.
And once
We're
you see
genius
season
thing.
1 and just what happens is like,
We live in a
should I be
society.
watching this? No, yes,
We
you
live
should.
in a society where nobody's embarrassed anymore. So that
can
opens
make this-
that opens a
Big Mouth
creative
can make you
window.
feel a little
I don't
embarrassed
disagree
though.
with that. Like,
Yeah.
Huh?
I think most people are afraid of being embarrassed.
No, like to make something like that, you wouldn't have done that like 10 years ago. That's what I'm talking about from a creative space. No,
For sure.
there wasn't like you weren't taking that level of. I mean, talking on the subject matter that they do in a cartoon, they weren't pushing that back in like the early 2000s stuff
Have
like
you
that.
seen the Spawn animated series?
But that's what I'm talking
Drawn
about. I'm talking about for
together.
like
Right.
I'm talking about just that came out later than in the 2000s. I'm talking about now we live in a space where you're exploring more like of racial
Drawn Together
movies,
was when we were
more.
in high school, I think.
No, thing is, the more premiums are able to do that, you're not gonna see stuff like that on FX.
No, what I'm saying
you're
is
not.
that we're in a creative. I wasn't talking about that show. I was talking about that we're in a creative space that people are not afraid to be judged for their work. So that's why you
Drawn
have.
Together was a 2004.
But what I'm trying to tell you is there's more movies and TV shows like that is getting more attention. You have like shows like Pose coming out and people are not judging stuff like that.
Well-
Or you have those films that people really judge and then we live in a society now where people are more open to things like that
Well, I
and are
think it's
willing to
more
go
so
that way.
the
To
networks are more open to it because like some of these shows have been existing like forever. Like you can see like RuPaul's show has been on like
Forever.
forever. It's a drag queen show, but it was only on shows that cater to an LGBTQ community.
But you're getting what I'm-
Bravo.
but
now
Stuff
there's
like that.
and Bravo and stuff, but there's been crossover because you had Queer Eye for the Straight Guy.
But you're getting what I'm
Bravo.
saying.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is all these people are starting to get more of their material being viewed.
Yeah, but
because we're getting open.
because I think audiences have already been ready for that because I mean you have people who would go to these shows, these channels to watch it. I don't think that now networks are more open to it because they feel like it's a safer bet because the model's been proven over and over again on these other channels that you'll have an audience, a certain demographic that isn't necessarily identifying with that demographic, and then they cross over and watch the show because they're entertained. Because there's guys that watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and now you have more reality shows that are appealing to a more male demographic. Like they had that stuff out there forever. It's just it wasn't widely viewed on the networks.
Okay.
But networks are also way more like regimented in what they would put because they wouldn't put shows of people of color. We've been wanting people of color on
Right.
shows forever.
Forever.
We wouldn't have had a show like Snowfall if it wasn't for a show like The Wire.
But that's but that's what I'm saying. That it's getting more attention. That people are happen to see it. that a lot of people haven't seen stuff like this. A lot of people didn't go watch The Wire because guess what?
A shit ton of people watched
They
The Wire.
did later on, but at first it failed because it wasn't getting the reviews. I'm trying.
It was
I'm
on
being
certain,
frank.
certain networks. I think certain, like you're saying, only certain
Wire
networks
didn't
have
fail.
that.
Yeah, I said, what are you basing The
It
Wire
wasn't-
failed on? Like,
Wire wasn't a success because it didn't win no type of awards or accolades.
That's not people.
But that's what I'm trying to say.
People
That
aren't the ones who voted for the thing. That's still the industry. Not
but that's what
opening the
I'm
narrative.
trying to say is a lot of those shows that went underrated or only a few watch. You live in a society now that people are more open to watch a lot of things that they weren't at first, where you get to see those people watching, like what I just said with Pose, or a lot of black TV shows that nobody was running to see the own stuff back in the day.
But
because
that's
of
not true though. That's not the people who are actually consuming the media. They were going to see that. That's why the networks moved.
But it was so small compared to what they're doing now.
You would have very niche networks that had the show on there, so you would have limited spots where people would have to go and watch just this one show. It's not that we didn't want the media; it's just that the networks weren't putting it out there because they didn't want to put that out there.
But
That's why they've done so well on
But before we
reruns.
continue, The Wire was not.
it's crazy. The Wire was
I'm
successful.
not saying that it's not a fail. It was at the time. You can't tell me
At the
that
time,
they
it
would
was-
tell you. The creator told you. He tells you that was a fail because it wasn't winning any awards. That there was literally nobody watching The Wire. It gained momentum later on when people
So
went back
what
and was like,
award
oh,
shows
it's
do?
good.
So what award shows?
I'm
that are,
talking
hold on,
about
hold on, wait.
Emmys.
But who votes on those though?
But I'm not even saying
But that's
that.
the point though, because if it's an
It
industry
had
based,
viewership.
But that's what I'm saying. It wasn't the big viewership that they're pushing the show. Like, no one was pushing The Wire like that. HBO wasn't pushing that. But it's like
but it's
a lot
still
of these
the
black
industry though. It's not that
But that's
people
what I'm
weren't
saying.
ready for the media. That's
We
that
know
the industry
people are ready.
wasn't.
I said I'm loving that they are pushing a lot of these creative shows that didn't get the.
That's not what he said, right? I'm not tripping. That's not what he said, right?
That is what I said.
No, you said that people weren't ready for the media, but we're saying that no, it was not the people
We
consuming
were-
the media. We were ready for it because you had people protesting for this
Okay,
stuff.
well, then I
It's
structured
the
it wrong then.
it's the
Yeah,
networks. That's
the
what I'm saying. It's
networks,
the
yeah.
networks
That's
that
fine.
were
That's why
limiting
they've
that.
done so well in syndication because now everyone can get hold of it.
Yeah,
And
that's
they're
why
watching
Netflix
over- yeah.
thrive because like Netflix's business model was based off of things that people liked that you couldn't get. That's why they put out Blockbuster. If you go look at the history of Netflix, they took movies that were very, very popular that were either straight to DVD and all that, and gave you an access point to go get these anytime that you wanted.
Yeah.
Whereas Blockbuster was only showing the big budget movies
Yep.
that the industries were
Yep.
pushing. That's why they went over. And then after that, they
I
started
would have
opening
never
up to that.
seen the Boondock Saints if it wasn't for Netflix.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. I'm loving that we live in a society where we actually get a chance to watch a lot of this stuff when it wasn't readily available for us to watch. Like you weren't. Oh, this fine. This watch it. This go. Let's move on.
You're now saying what we were saying.
Yeah.
We wanted that. The people wanted that. The networks didn't want it because it wasn't the safe bet. But you had channels that were pushing it out there. But that's all we're saying is that
And people don't
People
care about
been
awards
wanting the
anymore. Now
media.
they care about the money. They're making money now. So damn the award. They're making the money now.
Yeah, because we don't even vote on these awards half
Nope.
the time. Like, that's why they say like
Means
the
nothing.
academies is racist. Like it's not we're pushing these shows because you see somebody winning an award and everybody's like that doesn't make any sense.
I never heard of it. Like what show? What movie
How
is
did
that?
this obscure ass movie
Like,
win?
Take for instance, what's one of Showtime's most popular shows? Dexter.
Love it.
No awards.
None.
Shameless has more awards than Dexter.
I'm still mad at that.
Hey man,
And that was a
Dexter's-
I
phenomenal-
drank with these people and didn't even know they were famous. And then somebody said, "Oh, these are people from Shameless." Like,
Right.
Really? Yeah.
I
But
just thought you
Dexter
was
is
from
still
Scruffy Austin Night.
the number one most viewed show on Showtime.
Really, I didn't know that.
That's shocking.
Yeah. Their original content,
Yeah,
Dexter was number
isn't
one.
Netflix supposed to be picking that up?
I think so.
It's on
Yeah,
Netflix
right.
right now.
Everything.
It's on Netflix right
already
now.
on
It's on
there.
Netflix right now.
I
I'm
gotta go
binging
back,
it
man.
again.
Netflix just picked up True TV. I've been watching Impractical Jokers on a marathon. Like,
That show is fucking
Yeah.
stupid, like in a good way.
yes.
That and
Yeah.
Silent Library.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
Is that the
Oh.
show that was on MTV?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
sit there and they do
I would want to do that, right?
Golly.
Get some fans and do Silent Library. That was fun.
Really?
Yeah.
that shit,
We're
man.
going to take over your library?
No.
Okay.
Do not set foot in my library.
Wait, what?
You know, she's a librarian.
I'm a librarian.
Yo, we should have a Sphere intermission, like
Coming straight from the library.
coming straight from the library.
Come
Silent
on.
Library.
So this weekend, I'll be watching Big Mouth.
I'm gonna watch Venom.
I'm gonna watch Venom too. I'm gonna check it out.
I promise the kids I'll take them.
I'm gonna binge a bunch of horror movies and Big Mouth.
The horror movie that you were talking about before.
The Dark. Yes. What about it?
Go on.
Okay, so it's coming out. I want to say, did I say the 25th of October? And it's a play on almost like Let Me In.
Yeah.
What happened?
Let the right one in. I just like that.
So it takes
Who wants to
place.
hit me right now? So,
Keep the violence on that half. So new director, new writer, Justin Pine, I think it is. And it takes place with urban legend type of thing where this guy is going to almost like West Virginia down some dirt road.
Sounds about right.
And he says, you want to hear something scary. And there's this story of this person.
Black man in West Virginia. That's
So-
scary.
that's terrifying.
He's clear. So he says that there's a legend of this person killing people and eating them, and it's a real girl, and she got changed into something, and she's killing people and eating them, and she kills this guy from the trailer. I noticed she killed this guy who was holding some young man hostage in his trunk, who's blind, so he can't see who this girl is, that she's some monster, and she protects him, just like in Let Me In. And I think his family has been abusing him, and she kills the family.
Is Let Me In?
The one with the vampire.
That's that Lindsay Lohan movie.
No, that
so whatever her name, Chloe
Chloe
the girl
something.
From Kick-Ass.
Right.
Okay.
But it's real similar to Let Me In to me.
Okay.
And
I'll show you the trailer.
before we go, Castlevania 2, or Castlevania Season 2, October 26th.
I got a bone to pick with Marcus real quick. You guys weren't here last week, but he's supposed to be bringing me the last Airbender DVDs, and I still haven't got them yet.
I have it in the car.
Once I get those from him, that's what I'm going to be watching this weekend.
Oh yeah.
no,
No,
it's
you know
not-
what?
it's
I'm gonna
not
drop it
on
off. 'Cause I've been
Legend
watching it.
Core.
I've been trying to finish up watching it.
It's not on Netflix, is it?
No, but Bleach is. Oh, wait, that might
Oh,
be
the Bleach
Hulu.
movie, real life movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It looked
Live
weird.
animation.
But anyway, so
Oh yeah, what am I gonna be watching? I don't know what I'm watching, man.
Yeah.
It's something. Oh, I'm watching the show with John Malkovich. No, not him.
Being
The dude-
John Malkovich
the
is
dude
watchable.
from Spider-Man. Oh my God, who plays J. Jonah Jameson?
The one with the gruffer voice.
I cannot think of his name to save my life. But I'm watching the show that he played on with Stars, Counterpart. that he plays
Counterpart,
in.
yeah.
I'm watching that.
I've never heard of that one.
Where it's like there's an alternate reality of Earth, like back in 1992 or something. Like scientists were experimenting, and it created an alternate world.
and they found the gateway, and he comes back over. Like the main one is boring, the other one is a spy, and he's like, I need you to come into my side and play me for a while.
Because there's a person that's crossing over that's assassinating all the spies.
What channel is this on?
It's on Stars. It's already, the first season's been done, so I've been watching it on
got
Has the
Stars,
Jeffrey
too.
Wright movie come out yet?
something.
The one I want to see.
I don't think so. no.
Okay.
I'll be watching Venom, Legend of Korra,
Oh,
and I'll
man.
finally
Legend of
finish
Korra.
the finale of Westworld. I just got to find an hour and a
J.K.
half.
Simmons,
J.K. Simmons, that's him, yeah.
So good.
man.
Whiplash, one of the best movies that he's played in.
Yeah, that was the movie. So
That's Iron Man 2, right?
What?
Oh, I'm thinking of the actual
The drum movie.
character.
I'm talking about. No.
no.
Hey, Sam Rockwell was in that movie.
Yeah.
It was a great Justin Hammer.
Yeah.
But that's gonna be it for us.
Yeah.
Thanks for checking us out. Make sure you tune in next week. We'll have all new material and all new shit to talk about.
Half off on used cans of Red Bull.
Boom.
Peace.